Hey, what's going on? You are watching today and listening to an episode of Sex with Stevie. I'm your host, Stevie, and I'm in my apartment here, jamming to some tunes here on my mix, which I was super excited to do tonight. I hope that you are joining me live tonight. Bring your questions tonight. I'm going to look for some of your comments here. Tonight's episode, I'm really excited that I've got some special guests calling me in. I've got my future co-host or my co-host, Cody, calling in. Cody, as I've mentioned before, was supposed to do this secondary podcast with me sitting right next to me called Sex with Stevie, and he was going to be my co-host. We were scheduled to do this a few weeks back, but as we all know, we're all self-quarantining at home, which is all good and fine. He's going to be calling in a little bit, and we're going to go through some, hot gay sex topics. This is a live show, so I invite you. I put the number in the Facebook page, but essentially it's 908-312-1015. That's the number, 908-312-1015. I'm here every single Thursday night for you, and really here for you as we self-quarantine. It's called Sex with Stevie. It's a call-in show, and it's kind of a really fun show where if you listen to TAGSPodcast, where we all started from, this is your chance to kind of weigh in on some hot gay sex topics and call in. And it's a little bit relaxed and casual, and we've got some fun stuff coming your way. A little bit later in the hour, I've got one of my BFF's friends calling in, super sensation on Instagram and social media. Gregory Nalbone is calling in. Interesting tidbit about Gregory is he was our very first guest on Talk About Gay Sex TAGSPodcast since we started. So really cool that, and he's been a guest periodically when we can convince him to come on the show. And so I'm super excited that he'll be calling in a little bit later on and share with us a little bit on what's going on and how he's dealing with everything, as we all are. I hope you are all staying safe. Staying at home is really what we're supposed to be doing, because I do feel that if we all do this, we can go back to some semblance of at least seeing each other, right? I know you are, if you're like me, you're probably getting a little stir crazy and feeling this. I mean, we were meant to interact with people, be in the company of other people, have sex with other people. I mean, I do a show called Talk About Gay Sex, TAGSPodcast, and for crying out loud, here we are self-quarantining. Well, I'm going to take this opportunity before my first guest calls in and talk about how different ways that you can keep sexual. If you listen to the regular podcast, TAGSPodcast on Tuesday, you will remember that I participated in a virtual sex party that somebody had told me about. I actually interviewed that guy, Wicked Gay Parties. Normally he does sex parties that are around the country, started in New York. You're going to hear all this story on Tuesday's episode of TAGSPodcast. It's a two-parter, so it'll be my co-hosts Lincoln and Jeremy, and then you'll get the first part of the interview. I'll talk a little bit more about it in a minute, but you can go to wickedgayparties.com. You can listen to this week's episode of TAGSPodcast where I talked about my experience on the virtual sex party that I participated in, that I'm going to again participate in this Saturday. And my interview with Brad, the guy who runs Wicked Gay Parties, was so fascinating because he's stuck in Kentucky right now. Long story, helping his father out, and he pulled over to the side of the road to get his food, and get a margarita at a Mexican joint. And we did this interview that was so fascinating that it was only supposed to be short, 10 minutes or so. But his story was so interesting that I decided to make it a two-parter. So you'll hear the first part coming up Tuesday, and then the following Tuesday. Again, you can go to Wicked Gay Parties if you want to scroll on their website and see if you want to participate in one of their virtual parties to keep yourself active. Just real quick, I'm doing a book club right now, and the book of choice right now is called Every Grain of Sand by David P. Wickman. He's going to be on the show real soon. I'm really hunkering down this weekend and gonna read this book, and it's a memoir. And if you go to TAGSPodcast.com, you can get all the links to how you can order the book, read along with us, and when we have him on the show, I think it's really going to be good. It's a juicy story. Again, this is a call-in show, so I want to hear from you. I've got some special guests calling in, but there's going to be some breaks throughout the hour where I want you guys to weigh in. And let's see. I just want to check in with you. Cody's checked in. I've got my sister Vivian. I see Amelia. Excellent. I love that you guys are checking in tonight. So much to talk about. Before my first guest calls in, did you know that there's a pillow challenge going on? So there's all these guys, a lot of gay guys are doing it, where we're all self-quarantining and we're getting stir crazy. So people are posting videos of themselves with pillows wrapped around their private parts. A lot of gay guys is the one that I was watching, at least. And I thought at first, that sounds so like, I don't know. I wasn't into it. But then I looked a little bit deeper into the postings, and people were getting really creative, including a person getting this blanket off their bed that made a series of dresses out of their blanket, and they were doing runway complete as they would get a snack out of the fridge or the freezer and saunter off, and then they come up in a new look but most of the people, it's called the hashtag pillow challenge. You'll look it up. I'll put it up on tagspodcast.com. After I realized that it wasn't so silly, I decided to do it myself. And somebody gave me this pillow. Friends of mine at Rebar, that used to be G Lounge, gave me this pillow. And it's a heart-shaped pillow with, some ropes around it. And essentially, they gave it to me because they knew I was into leather. And the person got it because it was sort of part of a leather party that they had thrown. And they knew at the time that I was really into leather. So I decided to partake in the pillow challenge and posted this in front of my private parts as I got out of the shower earlier this evening to get ready for you all. And I'll post it tomorrow, laugh if you want, comment if you want. Maybe it'll inspire you to post something of yourself. A little interesting known factor about me is I have a glassware fetish. Like, I love really good glasses, not eyeglasses, but drinking glasses. And I hope you're joining me tonight, and let me know. I'm going to check the comments. What are you drinking tonight? If you can't drink, no worries. What mocktail are you drinking? What protein shake are you drinking? But I'm drinking a really nice wine tonight that I got. Alto Adige, just saying. Yep, really good. But interesting known fact about me is I have a pillow fetish. And if you notice, I could have chosen a lot of pillows if I wanted to. I have this, it's a mohair pillow that I'm hunkering down behind me. I've got this disco pillow that is kind of fun that I got that's really super cold, so it's really just for looks. And I think timing's right to move on. Hey, I want to guess, is this Cody?
This is Cody. Hi, Boo. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Um, I'm starting to feel the anxiety from being in the house. It's starting to get to me. I'm kind of an introvert myself, so the first couple weeks were like, oh, this is not anything at all. But now it's starting to finally get to me.
It's really weird because if you watch any of the news, you'll see that we've made progress, particularly here in New York. And New York seems
Yeah.
to be, besides China and Italy and other parts of non-US, we're making some progress. Other
hmm
than yesterday, we had the most deaths.
The most deaths. Yeah.
It's so, horrible. But with that being said, there seems to be a little bit of positivity coming out of the mouse that be. But that being
Yeah.
said, it still seems like we're at the halfway point of a very long, laborious game,
That's what I heard.
and we're all
That this is
checker.
like.
Yeah, we're all checker pieces, and we're in our little spot. And is this what prison feels like, Cody? You know what I mean? We probably should. We
Well,
probably
I
should keep
can't
it in
comment
perspective.
on that.
We probably should keep it in perspective, I guess, because if you know what I mean.
But actually, it's funny you say that because I saw Latrice Royale, who has been to prison. Because I'm an avid drag aficionado, especially drag race. He
Yes.
posted that this is nothing like prison. You have Wi-Fi. You're able to go outside. You don't have police officers guarding you. So she's like, this is like a small portion of what prison is
You
like.
don't have
So get into
wine.
it. Right? I
You
have
know
my
what I
white
mean?
wine right here.
Do you have your cocktail with me?
Oh yes, and my roommate, he's a bartender, so he made this like chocolatey coffee tequila drink
Oh.
earlier, and it was amazing. So I have to thank him for that.
Cody, I don't know if you can see the feed on Facebook page, but each week my producer, my sister Vivian Need in Oakland,
Yes,
we try and
I love her.
we try and tweak the show a little bit to kind of make this a better. I hear you all out there. We're working with the audio and we're trying to get it the best we can. If you notice, I have a handheld mic, just it's a little bit clearer. But I found Vivian, my producer, found a way to put in when someone calls in, and people right now, if they're tuning in, they can see your picture that I got from Instagram. I hope you don't mind, and a little.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and it says co-host Cody Maurice. What does it say? I'm looking at it right now. And put your Instagram on there. It says that you're calling in. So yeah,
I see it. I turned my screen off because it's kind of like the lag gets to me a little bit, and I
right.
get a little bit flustered. But now I just turn the screen back up, and I see that picture. That's the picture I took when quarantine first started.
Okay, so then I want to ask you about that picture because you've grown a kind of a beard, right?
Yeah, I had a beard. I mean, I cut it
When
off.
did black
but-
guys start growing a beard? I mean, it's so sexy on you and so many of.
Thank you.
Yes.
I cut it off because it starts to get itchy. But
Cody, I didn't know this is. Someone's trying to call in, but I don't know that I can. I think I can only take one call, so I'm gonna hang. Cody, are you there? Hello. Cody, are you there? Oh, sorry, Cody. Call me back, Cody, if you were there. We are live here on Sex with Stevie, the live podcast, and somebody was calling in when I was talking to Cody, and I think I dropped both calls. If you're listening out there, Cody, please call me back. I will answer. We were talking about facial hair, and I want to hear from you. Let me just tell Cody this on our normal chat so that he can, let's see, call back. Boo. And let's see if this works. Again, we are live at Sex with Stevie, and there is a time delay. So if you're trying to call in and you're watching, know that there's a little bit of time delay. I'm learning a little bit about this too. Okay, here we go. Cody, is that you?
it's me.
Hi. Okay, good. Okay, so there's another call coming in, and let me just see which one you are. What's your number code? It starts with 631?
718.
718.
Huh?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Sorry.
I can call back.
No. So apparently we can't take two calls at once. We're going to get to your call, though, caller, and all of your callers. It's a one-call show at a time. Cody's my co-host, so he needs to be on this right now. But there's time for you to call in, and thank you for calling in. So talk to me about growing that facial hair. Is that a whole new thing for you?
No. I operate with the mustache only. I go with the sexy Tom of Finland mustache all the time. That's my gig from now on. So maybe in the future.
I'm trying to rock that right now too. I'm a slow grower.
Yeah, see, looking good.
I'm a slow grower in many different ways, but I'm a shower. But what's that phrase? I don't know. Anyway, I'm a grower, not a. I'm a shower, but not a. Yeah, that.
And you're a grower, not a shower.
Exactly. Exactly. So last time we talked, and this is kind of relevant for so many people listening. You've been dating a guy. You started dating a guy before all of this COVID-19 happened, and last time we talked, you said you were going to do like sort of a date thing. And how is that going? And give a little bit of insight, to our listeners on what it's like to kind of be in the new stages of dating somebody and then have COVID-19 happen.
Well, the distance becomes so much greater, I feel like, because you really want to see that person all the time. And because, in the initial stages of a relationship, you're like, oh, I always want to be around that person. I always want to be touching and kissing and various other things. But so the distance feels so much greater, and like emotionally, I feel like they don't have that bedrock that other couples might have that have more of a substantial relationship that they've evolved over time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Also being in a holding pattern of sorts, as far as like having to be in quarantine and all that and whatnot, that is definitely not helping in the relationship. So, I'm putting in effort. He's putting in effort. We're trying to make it work, but I can definitely feel the distance. So
I could imagine, and I'm just curious, do you guys sext, like, sexting and all that kind of thing, or do you just kind of talk and,
I want to, because I don't know about you, but in the quarantine, I am the horniest person in the quarantine.
Me too. I don't know what it is, but you know what I think it is, Cody, is that when we're normal, when we're going to work and when we're running around and we're meeting our friends, of course, we're naturally horny guys and we're just like everybody else. Now that we're self-quarantining, we are in a box, whatever place you live in, and you have to really be diligent about creating your schedule, and you're just going stir crazy. And if you're not getting that schedule down, you're that much more likely to be like, oh my God, I'm horny. And you're like horny 24/7 and wondering, when are we ever going to see dick again?
I see my own plenty.
Well,
I masturbate like 3 times a day now.
Oh my God, you are like Jeremy, my co-host, who is also, and I was making my co-host laugh on Tuesday's show, saying that it's so funny because I feel like I'm dating myself. I think I'm a chef right now, so I'm making all these dinners, I'm dining with myself, I'm singing and dancing by myself, I'm working everything by myself, and turns out I think I like myself. I would date myself. I mean, it's a good test.
That's the best thing you can take from this quarantine right now.
You know what?
You love yourself. Good for you, boo.
I learned that about myself, that I would date myself, y'all. So.
Hey, good for you. I'm so happy. I would date myself, too.
I know you would.
In a hot second.
So, really quick before we move on, so is it complicated to because it's so new. I could imagine if I was dating somebody and then all of a sudden I couldn't see them. And somebody once told me that this was a person, this was a choreographer dating like a dancer friend of mine. Mm-hmm. And they had crazy schedules. And one of them was constantly choreographing major tours around the world. And the other one was busy as well. What they found, what my friend told me, and he was a big Kabbalah follower of the Kabbalah religion, and mm-hmm. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with it, but one of the things he had told me was they had a 3-week rule that, or maybe two or 3 week rule, and one of them was choreographing like major artists that we all know and love, and could be away. They had a rule that they could not be away from each other physically. It was either 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to say 3 because they had looked into the psychology of what our minds do after a period of time. It doesn't matter if you're enamored, in love with a person. If you haven't seen that person, according to what they were stating, in that 2 or 3 week period, there's pheromones and body chemistry that you start to lose for that person, and it doesn't matter how. And I sort of believe in that. I mean, obviously, and this friend told me that when we had social media, but I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think that's absolutely true. I know from previous relationships, especially because, like, you know, in this day and age, people get busy and people don't have time to always see somebody, or traveling is so accessible now.
Right.
We can hop on planes. We could, you know, people have busy lives. So I think that physical connection has to be there frequently. So
right.
2 to 3 weeks sounds about right to me.
Do you think,
I know I'm feeling it.
Do you think that things like FaceTime help, and going on Zoom with your boy, do they help?
FaceTime does help.
Okay, good.
It's good to see his face and how adorable I think he is. So all those pheromones and butterflies come back. But I don't think there's a replacement for actual physical contact now.
Right. And just being, it's so interesting because prior to, I'm learning, so many of my friends like Jeremy, my other co-host, is really on the apps a lot, and I'm never been on the apps before. I think this is teaching us to learn how to utilize in a constructive way social media and technology. I've always been a person that loved going out and interacting with people, and I just think things are going to change from this point on. Obviously not somebody you're dating, I hope, but we asked this question on TAGSPodcast the other day, and they're mentioning it on all the news streams that, shaking hands is an old construct that won't happen anymore. And I was asking my co-host, do you think all of this, after when we come out of this, do you think it'll change how you interact with your friends, acquaintances? Will you, Cody, shake hands? Will you hug people? Or will you kind of think twice about how you approach reaching out to, people that you know, whether acquaintance or friend?
I think in the initial stages, it'll be something that crosses my mind. But just like with everything else, I think the familiarity with the situation, like it'll subside, I feel like.
And we'll go back to some sort of normal. I mean, because
we're social creatures as human beings, so.
And then you add our gay side.
And it's over.
It's over.
I'm touching everything.
Exactly.
I'm grabbing all the butts. No, I'm sorry.
Before you go, Cody, because I know that our other friend Gregory Nalbone's calling in a little bit, and I want some callers to call in. Can you
Hi, Greg.
yeah, exactly. Can you share with us some things that are from your bag of tricks that are helping you get through this quarantine, whether it's a TV show, brand new album, something that, a movie, a book, something that's helping you get through this, a virtual TV show, a sex toy?
Well, my flesh jack is my new best friend.
Oh my gosh. You know what? And can I just take this opportunity that if you go to patreon.com
Okay.
/talk about gay sex, I am doing a demo on how this particular I don't know if you're watching, but there's this really great piece. It's kind of like a flesh jack, and you can actually put it on any piece of furniture, and it looks...
That is sexy.
It's super sexy. Little do you know what's underneath here, and I'm doing a whole demo on it coming out tomorrow on how this is the product. You can all go to adamstoybox.com, and by being a listener of Tags Podcast and Sex with Stevie, just everything's 20% off. Just use the promo.
Nice.
Yeah, use the promo code TAGS, TAGS at checkout, and everything, including this one, which let me get the box of it here somewhere. As I'm looking for the box of this, did you know there's a pillow challenge out there, Cody?
I did not. I saw your pillow though, and I was like, I want that pillow. But
So this is called the Man Squeeze Stud, and they have a few left. So go on to adamstoybox.com and get that. So there's a pillow challenge going out there where people are doing... Look it up, you'll see, and it's pretty hilarious.
I'm looking forward to yours.
It's coming out, yes. I use this pillow, the heart pillow that somebody gave me, and I have a pillow fetish anyway, so... I'm doing all these like yoga. Are you working out because you have such a great body? Before I let you go.
Oh, thank you,
Yes.
thank you. I am working out, not as frequently as I was beforehand, but I'm trying to get those workouts in. When I come out of quarantine, but I'm also eating a lot more. When I come out of quarantine, I got to keep it cute. I got to re-involve somebody. Okay?
Well, you always look good. I'm not worried about
Thank you. So do you, babe.
Thank you.
So do you.
Cody, thank you so much. And tell us again when we can look forward to when you're singing live again.
So it's going to be on the 19th now. We just moved it back because of some technical things that they're working out on the other side.
Okay. Got. All right, Cody, thank you so much. All right, sounds good. Bye. Hey, caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Billy James, Long Island.
Billy James, how you doing?
What's up, boo?
Hey, babe. Oh, my goodness.
It is countdown, honey. Countdown, countdown, countdown.
Exactly. Hey, babe, can you call back in like 10 minutes? I've got Gregory calling in shortly, but I want to hear from you. Listen to Gregory because he's... Is that cool? Okay, thanks, babe. Hey, caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Gregory, and I'm calling from New York.
Gregory Nalbone.
Wait,
You're my special guest.
Did you know that was me, really?
Oh, okay, so here's the thing. My Amelia was they were calling me, and I thought it was you, and I want them to call back, and so they're calling back shortly. And
I was thinking, what do I call it? Do I call it 10:29? Does that look too like desperate, or do I call it 10:31 and you'd be like, oh, this asshole? What does he think? So I was like trying to do it like at the right time.
I love it. I love it. For those listening and watching tonight, because we're live on Facebook. I'm going to check the Facebook feed right now. I am talking to one of my BFFs and favorite people of all time, Gregory Nalbone. He is a social media sensation and a place that I visit all the time. I'm a barfly, and he's probably annoyed by me all the time. I'm going to change your name because I've got these really cool name tags that I can put on below your name, Gregory, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
And it says Gregory Nalbone.
Is it inappropriate?
No.
Okay.
I know, right? No, it's just
Forget it.
Forget
it then.
Yeah, exactly. Gregory, so tell me, okay, so let's just break it down real quick. You are, you constantly are at your place posting pictures of yourself in your I Dream of Jeannie bottle, beautiful apartment. What's changed?
Ooh, what?
But you also work at one of my favorite watering holes here in New York City, the Eagle. And real briefly, talk about how the Eagle is really quick. And for all people that know, the Eagle is a cruising bar. And the Eagle was one of the first bars to take themselves off the market, is how I'll say it, early on, and because of COVID-19. What was that like? Because I know that you were already kind of wearing black gloves and preparing yourself.
Well, yeah. It was, I'm a little eccentric, and I started worrying, maybe a little too early, but, that's just how I am. And so the last weekend that I worked, I was thinking, we're handling money all night long. And I had just seen something on TV, like China's burning their money because it's on the money now. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm going to wear, I got these black latex gloves. I ordered them. I put them on. And until I started dropping drinks and beers, all over the bar and people's faces, it worked out really well. And, but, it made sense when we closed. I think it was a really well thought out decision by the owners and management, and I was actually feeling a little awkward about going in that whole weekend because things were just starting to amp up, and we weren't really scared yet, but it was starting to happen. And so it turned out, and I think, like I said, a very good thing for the patrons and the staff that we respected what was happening and shut the bar down.
It's interesting. I would just love your perspective on it because all restaurants, any kind of business, obviously succumbed to this and had to shut down. The places like the Eagle have a long history of being a cruise bar. We've certainly talked about it on TAGSPodcast here.
Is that what we call it?
That's what we talk about. They do call that's kind of cruise bar is in the history books, and I'm making up the history books. But if you were to look up the leather community and all, it's in that world. And it's interesting because when you talk about a cruise bar of a nature, it's touchy-feely. There's a lot of shenanigans happening.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thought process of when we do finally go back to coming back to, how do you think, just what's your thought process of how your bar will handle that?
I can't even tell you what they would do. I mean, you're going to tell people they can only stand a certain distance from each other.
Right.
If this is still something that's, is it going to be completely eradicated? I mean, if that's the case, I would think it could go back to normal if there was a vaccine or a treatment, but I don't see that happening. So, and I also don't think the bar is going to be closed for a year in the interim while something is developed. So I don't know how they're going to implement a social space for the public in a safe way that doesn't compromise someone's health. I couldn't imagine, and also compromise the staff because, we're dealing with hundreds of people a night, in their face. People spit in my eye, not intentionally, but,
well, as we're learning.
Right. So, that's, you gotta think about that shit seriously now. I mean, so...
And then there's the guys that you want to spit in your face, and then that's a whole different...
I mean, got that right. And the other way around, too.
Is that just something that, part of our history? The history books?
What, the spitting in the face?
Yeah, any of it. Like touching any guy. Can we touch a guy for crying out loud, Gregory?
I don't know, babe. Well, I don't know what we're going to do.
I know. I don't know.
I miss our Thursday nights out, too, because...
Gregory and I we had a ritual where we were, not every Thursday, but several Thursdays, and it was just magical and so fun, and I hope that we can at least get together for a lunch or something at some point.
We've got it. Wait, I just had a really embarrassing thought that I have to share with you.
Yes.
Imagine if, I was trying to listen to myself on to hear myself as we're doing this podcast, and you were like, Greg, I'm sorry, you're going to have to, bring down the volume over there. We're getting a lot of feedback in the studio over here. And
no.
I've seen that,
I am monitoring my studio. I am monitoring my studio here. I am Lisa Rinna. I don't know why I thought of her, but I'm on
Wouldn't that be awkward?
It would be really awkward.
How do I tell him? You for once you can't listen to yourself. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. I want to shout out that Amelia says, hi, Gregory.
And you tell Amelia, no, can I talk to him directly? Or
you can't talk to him directly, but Cody says,
you tell him I love him and I miss him.
Okay, Amelia, he loves you and he misses you. He heard that, though.
Cool.
I want to shout out to my friend John Oliver. Hi, baby, I love you and miss you so much. If you have questions for Gregory in the next few minutes, put them in the feed and we will post it. Exactly.
Oh, boy.
You don't have to answer it. So what's changed for you? Because you have always, Gregory, been really good with your workouts, with, I loved when I go to your place, I like to describe it as the I Dream a Genie bottle. People can follow. I put it on the feed here. It's at Gregory Nalbone. If you look at it, half the time it's, you're either looking at an I Dream a Genie bottle, fabulous bottle, or you're looking at these cats. And the last one I saw was the two cats in tandem drinking water. How did you manage to get the cats?
I didn't sit there and art direct the whole thing.
You art directed it all. I know you did. Damn it!
I forced them into that position.
Oh my God!
Model. So no, there's one.
It's like King Tiger or whatever that show is. You're like the king of those two. Oh, hi now. Let's not bring that. Let's not go into that. Let's not go into that.
So there's a cup always, it became their glass. They took it over. It started with me drinking water out of my glass, putting it on the table. One of the girls came up and started drinking. Then literally she would start demanding. She would, if it wasn't there, she would stare at the table. Kira would start demanding. So this is for months and months and months now. This has become, there's got to be a glass filled with fresh water for her on the table. Sometimes the other one has it too, but mostly Kira. The other one drinks out of another area.
What's the other cat's name?
Gia and Kira.
Gia?
So last night...
I love it.
Last night I'm sitting here watching television, trying to find something to watch that I haven't seen yet. And my grandmother used to say, I would call my grandmother years and years ago. I'd say, yeah, how are you? And she'd say, oh, I'm just fine. Me and my four walls. We're just fine,
Oh my God! Yeah, the Catholic. Left. Yeah, right. Yeah. She was self-quarantining before it was cool to self-quarantine.
That's how it was. So I brought over a glass of water for myself.
Okay.
And put it on the table. Next thing you know it, the other one stands in the. Kira's up on the table already. The other one comes up, looks at the glass, looks at me, goes near Kira's glass. Kira don't let her. She gives this little.
Yes.
And then she walks over to my glass and starts drinking it. So that's how that happened. I said, oh my God, where's the fucking camera? And I took a picture, and that's how it happened.
And those beautiful glasses that you got for the one time that you did this
the party.
This dinner party, cocktail party, that I happen to be a part of, that I feel responsible that I slightly ruined. But
it was you didn't slightly ruin. You completely.
I ruined. I was a New York housewife that night, and
while it lasted, it was
while
really
it lasted
nice.
before I became a New York housewife and blowed up at somebody else that used to be on my show that is no longer on my show.
We're still very
Anyways,
close.
we are still, yeah.
I love you both.
I know, and I like him too, and he's good. Anyway, okay, real quick. People that follow you, it's on the post here at Gregory Nalbone, can see you're in such amazing shape, and you do such beautiful, sexy, hot photos of yourself.
Thank you, Steve.
I mean, you do, and that's just not a lie. How, obviously, you're not going to the gym right now. Have you created a gym in your home? What's life like?
All right. For the first
Break
2
it
weeks,
down.
Break it down. For the first 2 weeks when the bar closed, that was on March 8th, I think. For the first 2 weeks, I did nothing.
Okay.
I think it was just me, like, my whole brain and body crashing from the fact that I was now unemployed. And number two, I was like, fuck this. I don't have to worry about it, looking good. I just kind of got really lazy and kind of went into a little dark, a little funk, absolutely. So, and I was just eating like a lot of crap and just like getting food delivered and whatever. So, and then I 2 weeks ago, not this Monday. I honestly don't even know. Honestly, right now, is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Oh, exactly. I don't know.
Okay. So last Monday I started with my workouts, just with my dumbbells. I've got some steel, not too heavy. I can get up to 50, 60 pounds, or something like 50 pounds on each one, or one together on one of them. Anyway, and then I ordered something on Amazon a little later in that week. Those cables, those
rubber bands, yeah.
And let me tell you something. I am having. I'll be honest with you. Except today, I didn't work out today. Just didn't feel like it. So, but I did have a Britney Spears moment. It shaved my head off pretty much. So that was my. So, but though the cables are awesome, and I think I'm hitting my body in a way that I haven't done in the gym before. It's a different feel. I'm sore every day.
Me too.
I'm full body, and I'm hooking it on to the bottom of my credenza in the living room. And because it's not the doors, I'm afraid of having that thing in the door, like, because it's going to come and knock my eye out. So,
oh my God, that is so funny. I feel like the same thing, like I'm panicked.
Right? Like, you don't know what's going to happen.
Like we're going to have to go to the doctor, and they're going to be like, no, and we're going to have no eye. And exactly.
You don't need another emergency.
Yeah, sorry, girl. Yeah, right.
You know what? I was trying to do squats with it. No, I was trying to do my calves. You wrap it around your feet,
calves.
the balls of your feet. You hold it in your hand, you pull it up to like your shoulders, and you start doing calf raises. Well, I didn't have socks on. I didn't have sneakers on. It slipped up under my feet, behind my heels, and fucking whacked me in the back. It looked like I got whipped across the back. So
that sounds like me. Yours sounds a little bit more like masculine and all. I was trying to make an egg white omelet, and I didn't screw the top on of the egg whites, and I was like, duh, my mushrooms, and I'm singing, and I'm like, and egg whites go flinging everywhere, and egg whites are sticky. I went, and I'm like, God damn it. And it's like, egg whites are like sticky cum. They just don't, damn it. And I just said, get it together, make the omelet. We will clean this mess.
Clean up this mess. Clean up, Christopher. Damn it.
If someone can name that, put it in what movie we're referencing, put it in the comment section right this second. I demand you to put it in. Oh my God. Okay, so real quick, Amelia says, what's Gregory's toy of the week? A bird, question mark?
Oh, well, I got a surprise for everyone.
Okay, and wait, real quick before you answer that, Billy, we love you, and he was scheduled. Billy, I want you coming back on. Do not get mad.
Oh, did I?
You did. No, but you were scheduled. Don't worry. Everyone's going to be happy.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, Vivian. Okay, Vivian Mead, my producer, my sister, says, "Mommy dearest." Yep, girl.
I love you, Vivian. Can't wait to see you again too.
Damn it, Vivian.
All right, did I overstay my welcome?
No. Go ahead. What were we?
No, I'm done. I'm glad. I'm glad.
What were we doing? Wait. Do you have? What was the question that he asked? Okay.
What's the toy?
Yeah. Do you have a toy?
No, I don't have. I'm playing my vinyl collection all day long.
Okay, good.
That's
You know what? This is a good question because I want to know how everybody's self-quarantining. And today I've got a lot of favorite things here in the studio, including a picture of you and I when we did a fashion show.
I just saw it on your feed.
So I'm currently showing it in the feed right now. It's Gregory. It's actually framed on. I have this below my TV. It's like, I don't know, a mantle or whatever, and it's loaded up with pictures of so many of my favorite people, and you're in there. And this is the photographer at the time when I did this fashion show was getting black and whites when we weren't noticing it, and you and I are laughing about who knows what, and we did not know. Those are some of the best shots sometimes, and it's fabulous. And so I posted it on our Instagram, which is TAGSPodcast, and you can look at that a little bit more in depth. Billy says, "Love you, Gregory."
Hey, baby.
David, sorry I'm late. My phone died. No worries. Gregory bumped me, Billy says. That's okay. I love all that. And so any other thing you can recommend? Anything you're watching or you can recommend for people to get us through this shit?
I finished Ozark, the third season, and actually went back and started watching the first season again, and then the second season again. Then I started watching Revenge. Do you remember that was on TV a long time ago?
Oh my God.
Show?
Vivian, my producer's sister, loved Revenge. Oh my God, I can't believe
it. Madeline, I love Revenge. She reminds me of you, actually.
Oh my God. Well, Helen on Ozark is my favorite. Just saying. Helen, the one that has like the stone face.
Amazing.
Oh my God, Vivian goes, yes, love Revenge. She used to tell me, Vivian used to tell me about Revenge all the time, and I would be like, oh my God, that dumb show. And it was like 95 episodes per season. Because it was like ABC.
It was like 22 episodes
it would start in the fall, and then we'd go away for Christmas break, and then you'd be like, yay, it's Christmas, and then all of a sudden it's back, and then all of a sudden we're back in the summer, and it's like, that damn show, it's like what's that basketball season? It's never ending, and I was like, oh my God, and it's like, what are they really doing in this show?
Well, if we start it now, maybe we'll be. It'll be by the time you're allowed to leave the house again, we'll be done it.
Well, I can't talk because I'm watching this silly. I subscribe to BritBox, and I'm watching EastEnders, which is this total British soap opera that's been around since 1985, and it's ridiculous. It's like crazy, and nobody understands what I'm talking about. But I love this show, and when I want to like check out, I put on EastEnders. And I just go into this little town in Britain that I love. I'm practically European, so you know.
Are people looking at you when they're watching?
They are, darling.
Are you flashing a full screen photo of me the whole time?
No, me. You just you have to go. I'm done with you. I've had enough. I have had enough. People can follow you. You can see at Gregory Nalbone. Clap, clap, clap. Thank you, darling.
Please stay safe, you, all your viewers, Steve, and I look forward to being able to speak to you in person again really soon.
Oh, I love you. Thank you so much, Gregory.
All right, baby.
I appreciate
Good night,
it.
babe. Bye.
All right. Bye. Oh, my goodness. One of my favorite people. And the interesting note about Gregory, who we were hanging out on this night, Thursdays. This was our night that we would hang out, and it's so rewarding that he would call in tonight, and I just appreciate him. He was part of the very first show of TAGSPodcast, talk about gay sex, and I really appreciate that. I've got a few more minutes. If anyone wants to call in, the number to call in is 908-312-1015. Weigh in on some hot gay sex topics. Talk to me about how you are self-quarantining. Again, this weekend I am participating in a virtual gay sex party. You can go to wickedgayparties.com, find out more about it. Brad, who's running those events, is going to be on my show next Tuesday. It's a two-parter because it was that juicy. So that's really cool. You can also be a part of our book club. And right now, the book of choice is Every Grain of Sand by David P. Wickman. This is a juicy book. I've already started it, and it's a memoir. It's really good. Get it. You can get it if you go to TAGSPodcast.com on our show notes. I've got all the links on there. You can get it on Barnes & Noble quickly. Thrifty Books, actually, you can get it quickly. If you want to get it in Kindle, you can get it on Amazon immediately.